You're going to be a blind mom. My experience with pregnancy and delivery. The test is positive. Whether you've been trying to conceive or whether this is a happy surprise, you're going to join the ranks of us blind parents. Congratulations and welcome. This is the first in a series of videos I'm sharing about my experience as a blind mom. First and foremost, my experience is just that, mine. I'm one woman, one mom, one blind person, and cannot speak for anyone else. As someone who's been a blind mom for nearly 21 years now, God, that feels crazy to say, and also how is that even possible? I hope some of the things I felt, experienced, and learned from trying to conceive to now being a blind mom to a young adult might be helpful to others, and most of all, that you might find reassurance and community, in part through me and through other blind parents. Since I don't have a lot of pictures of my pregnancies with either kiddo, or many pictures of either kiddo's birth, I don't even know why, I will be doing the most exciting cleaning task, cleaning windows, while we talk about the earliest part of my experience being a blind mom, pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, and delivery. As I did this voiceover, the video has shown the basement area of my house, including the very dirty patio doors and windows that I'm cleaning, our media room and game closet. It's supposed to be 60 here today, so I decided that it is time before it snows again to get these windows clean, especially this patio window from the boys going in and out here to the yard. It is so dirty, like I can even feel it. There's a nasty film on the window. When it's super cold, I don't do them because I don't want to have it freeze on the windows. It gets so cold here. Okay, I'm going to dive right into both the window cleaning and chatting about one of the most life-changing experiences ever. No pressure. I think that the fears and concerns I had before becoming pregnant for the first time were mostly similar to sighted women trying to conceive. I wondered if I would have trouble conceiving. I had endometriosis that had caused problems for me since I was 13 years old. I hadn't had that deep desire to be a mom since I was a little kid like some women, but when I came to the realization that I wanted to have a baby, I really wanted to have a baby and to be a mom. At that stage, I didn't think a lot about whether I would or wouldn't be able to do any given thing because I'm blind. Since my college years and meeting many other blind people, it's pretty rare that I wonder whether I'll be able to do something or not. Occasionally, I wonder how I'll be able to do something, but honestly, that's typically more of a brainstorming thought process than a question of my own ability. I did wonder if I wouldn't be able to read a pregnancy test result, and that made me a little sad. For some reason, and I genuinely don't know why, I really wanted that first test and result to be just for me, not my partner. I wanted to know first. I believe now they have some sort of more accessible home pregnancy test, but my gosh, the sighted women in my trying to conceive community at the time, half the time they couldn't read their own positive pregnancy tests, so I had little hope I would be able to independently read mine. I believe I went to that same group of women to ask about my own test, so I didn't really get to sit alone with it, but I've been friends with those women since before our now 20 and 21-year-old kiddos were born, and they've gone through some of the greatest ups and downs in my life with me, even though I haven't met most of them in person. I've inserted a couple of pictures here of me pregnant with my second kiddo. Try as I might, I can't find any pictures of me pregnant with my oldest that are just pictures of me by myself. The second of these pictures has my first guide dog, Picasa, sitting with her head resting on me. Side note about window cleaning, despite this thing being sped up by 4 times, in the video I am still working on the patio door where our dogs go out to the backyard. It had gotten so gross. Okay, worries, fears, and concerns. I remember being worried about others' fears and concerns about my blindness, more so than me having my own fears and concerns. I did worry some about my doctor's perceptions and thoughts about my blindness. I'd like to think they didn't have any concerns about a blind person becoming a parent, but I know it's more than likely that they did have some concerns. If they had concerns, they either hid them well, or their concerns were eased by me having a sighted partner. This isn't appropriate, professional, or right, but it certainly is plausible. I did worry some also about how I would independently travel places with the baby once they were here. I was in graduate school in a small college town when I was pregnant and the year after my oldest was born, and I lived on the other side of town from the university. There was no way I could walk that distance carrying an infant car seat. In my case, there was a bus in town that I was able to access to get to school and to get my kiddo to daycare. And walking around the buildings on campus that I needed for myself and my baby was easy and all within close proximity. Additionally, my first year as a mom was a pretty gentle, insulated introduction, surrounded with strong, disability-aware, knowledgeable, and proud professionals who made being a blind mom and master's degree student feel like an accomplishment. If anything, at that time in my life when my oldest was teeny tiny and insanely adorable, I felt relatively fearless, competent, capable, and honestly, kind of on top of the world. Window cleaning update. I've moved on to the windows in our media room area, so at least my sighted friends aren't stuck watching me clean that patio door anymore. I think my experience of pregnancy itself was fairly similar to sighted moms. I couldn't see any of the physical signs of pregnancy that developed, with the exception of my belly. And because I have albinism, some changes in the body with pregnancy that have to do with pigmentation just didn't happen to me. I remember feeling like I was a little ahead of the game when my sighted mom friends were struggling to shave as their bellies impeded their view of the rest of their body. But I had always shaved by feel, not by sight, and it seemed so implausible to me that others relied on their sight to shave. I couldn't see anything on the ultrasound screens, but I swear most people don't know what they're looking at on those things anyway. My pregnancy with my oldest was mostly smooth, with one experience of preterm labor that required my team to stop contractions with medication. I had just completed my last final when true labor decided to start. I guess that kiddo has been a perfectionist from day one. I couldn't see some of the things in the birth prep class, but I wasn't concerned about that either. I might have had too much faith in TLC's A Baby Story, if I'm being honest, because I thought I knew what I was in for. I didn't, but I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. I must be super out of shape because just doing these basement windows is already killing my arms. I can't see if that's any different, but it has to be. I don't want to put my hands on it, but I'm guessing there's not that same film because I went over that one twice. That was the worst one. This is the boys' toy bin. These are one of Mocha's favorite toys, the doggos. That and his magic hat bunny. So obviously this room is not picked up or clean, but the windows now are taken care of on a day that is warm enough to take care of them. Oh, I don't want to, but I will probably go upstairs and do the main level windows also. I'm not a fan of doing windows. I think because it's not like as obvious of a difference to me. I mean, I can't see it. And I don't dare feel it with my hands because I know that I'll mark it up. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going. I begrudgingly moved on to the main level to clean the patio door windows leading out to our deck. I seriously had to push myself to do the outside of these windows. I was running out of window cleaning steam for sure. Look at how pretty it is outside. I don't know if I want to do these two windows or not. I probably should do it. I've been trying to think of differences in the labor and delivery experience specific to my blindness, and the only one I can really think of is that my doctor still offered me a mirror if I wanted to see the baby's head during delivery. They still put the mirror up, but I couldn't see anything, so that wasn't the encouragement they suggested it would be. I don't remember much after the birth of either baby. I think the pure exhaustion and overwhelm in almost every way after giving birth may serve as its own sort of anesthesia. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll come back next week for the second part in this Being a Blind Mom series. If you have any questions about my experiences, or if you're a new blind parent or soon-to-be blind parent, feel free to share any concerns or thoughts you've had. Maybe another blind parent will see it and be able to be an encouragement or support to you.